Hello, students. If you are a parent watching this, it might be good to have your student join you, as this is very much geared towards them with your input. This is a guided activity, so you can watch through once and then work through the questions a second time, or you can get paper or cell phone to take notes and write down ideas or questions that come to you through the presentation. At any time, you can pause the presentation if you need more time. This is just a brief introduction into things to consider when seeking college fit. There are many more resources out there that can help in this process, and they are referenced at the end of this presentation. Let's jump into finding the right fit. All content is adapted from NACAC, NACAC, the National Association for College Admission Counseling, step-by-step college awareness and planning program. If you want to follow the link that is included and locate the guide to work on while you move through the slides, you can. It is multiple pages, and this is just a summary of some of the things they suggest considering when looking for college fit. Again, this should be a student-led exercise, so please make sure you and your student participate in this together. College. Parents, if you are watching this with your student, it might be good for you to answer some of these questions as well. It could be a good talking point in those weekly 20-minute meetings I discussed in my college planning video. If you haven't watched that one yet, please look for it in the same place you found this. How do you, the student, define college? Take at least 30 seconds to write down what you think college is or what it should be. What expectations or worries do you have? If you need more than 30 seconds, please take as much time as you need to write down all of your thoughts and ideas, and maybe take some time to consider and look at what your parents have put down as well and see how they compare. So the big question is, why are you going to college? Think about why you want to attend college. Look at some of these suggestions and list all that apply. These should be guiding things in your search for the right college fit. Many of these things can be found on a college campus if you're looking for them, and it may help you decide what college is a better fit for you over another college. What was good for your best friend or your brother or sister or cousin or grandparents may not be the best fit for you. Types of higher education. Two-year state or community college. They typically offer 2 years of education towards an AA degree or some sort of special certification. A 4-year liberal arts college are much smaller than universities, have smaller classes, and focuses on the student learning and exposure to a broad base of courses. A lot of them have specializations in engineering or just broad-based learning. A 4-year university is typically large, contains a variety of professionally oriented colleges, more extensive resources, but larger introductory classes. Technical or professional institutes emphasize preparation for a specific career like music or fine arts. Historically Black colleges and universities, or HBCUs, our Black and African American students have the opportunity to be a part of an educational community where they are part of the majority. Women's colleges are traditionally for women only. They have a high number of female faculty and administration, and their focus is very much on career development and career possibilities for women and solid role models. And then religiously affiliated colleges or universities are typical in their offerings to liberal arts colleges or universities, but they have some sort of religious affiliation. So after hearing these descriptors, maybe take a moment to pause and think about the concept of college now that you know a little bit more about the types that are out there. Write down some ideas And remember that this isn't an exhaustive list, as there are over 4,000 colleges and universities in the country. I just provided some brief examples so you could possibly look each of those up if you aren't aware of what they are, to get a better idea of what that type of college is. Important things to consider. Think about the things you love and hate about your high school. Can these help you? Location. Where is this place? Do you hate snow? Do you love sunshine? How hard is it to get home? Size. Some colleges have less than 1,000 students. The largest have over 70,000 students. Many fall in the middle. Programs. Are you 100% set on what you want to study, or do you want some variety in your choices? Cost. This should be the driving factor in your final decision making. You should not go into great debt to get a great education. Campus life. Football game weekends, retreats, student clubs, city adventures, hiking. Diversity. What style or type of campus community do you want? Small and rural, large and international. Retention rate, which is very important to consider because it is talking about how many kids come back after freshman year. Does your college care enough to make sure you feel comfortable to come back the next year? And on the flip side, have you given careful consideration to what a college has and made sure it is the right fit for you? And lastly is graduation rate, which is the biggest reason why you are attending, to get a degree. Many colleges consider a 5 to 6 year finishing rate to be on time, so that is what they will report. Just because a school has a low rate of graduation does not mean that they are a bad school. It may mean they accept more students who have other factors that contribute to them not finishing, like a lower GPA or lack of home or financial support. Factors affecting college choice. Take the time to really consider and answer these questions. A staggering number of students do not graduate from their original college, with anywhere from 15 to 40%, or graduate from college at all, which is as high as 30%. Finding the right fit may have a big impact on your overall success at college. Major or career interests for you. A good quote I recently read states, "You have some time to recognize that special combination of what you love and what you're also good at." College is part of that exploration, so you don't necessarily have to know what you want to do at college. If you are really unsure, make sure you have colleges that have a wide variety of options, or look at a liberal arts college where you will take a variety of courses. These are just some different things to consider and resources to look at in your discovery of what a major or career interest may be for you. Things to consider. Schools that fit your academic profile, meaning your GPA and your standardized test scores, as well as your personal and career interests. Don't focus too much on cost at the beginning of your search. Focus on it more when you've been accepted, have full financial aid packages in front of you, and it comes time to make a decision on where you will attend. Choose 1 to 3 schools that will definitely admit you, 2 to 4 schools that you want to target, and 1 to 3 schools that are stretches. But how can you tell which is which? Likely schools, or as sometimes they're called backup schools, are where your GPA and standardized test scores are at or above the school's published data on accepted students and the acceptance rate is 60% or higher. These are schools that you are very likely to be admitted to, but may not be your first choices. Target schools are where you should focus a lot of your attention, and that is why that number is a little higher. These are your schools where you are right on target to get into. Your GPA and your standardized test scores fit the school's published data on accepted students, and the acceptance rate is around 30 to 60%. Reach schools are those dream schools where your GPA and your standardized test scores fall at or below the school's published data on accepted students and or the acceptance rate is less than 30%. Acceptance rate can be easily computed by taking the number of accepted students and dividing it by the total number of applicants. If a school purports to have a very exclusive admit rate, chances are they have 10 times the applicants as they do for space. For example, Harvard admitted 2,320 students out of almost 60,000 applicants. Their enrollment numbers stay relatively the same, but if more people apply, then their enrollment or acceptance rate remains startlingly low. For this year, it was 4%. In 1997, it was almost 13%. That is why being informed and having a wide variety of schools will help you feel confident about the process of applying. There is a lot of talk about exclusivity and acceptance rates. A higher acceptance rate does not necessarily mean that a school is a bad school. Again, they may have a community focus on educating more students, providing students who are underrepresented and oftentimes struggle in college due to different reasons. They may be more willing to take those students on and provide them the support that they need, so they are more willing to take on a lower GPA or lower test scores because their college philosophy is that with proper support, those students can succeed. This doesn't mean that more highly selective schools do not do these. It's just that they are pulling from a much smaller pool of people, so they don't have as much variety or availability to take in 6,000 applicants. They only may have room for 1,000. All of these points we're taking from the Jack Kent Cook Foundation. The link is below if you wanted to read more about the article. Who decides? Think about and talk about who should make the decision about the college you attend. When you are making your list, consider who is deciding where you go. This may greatly curtail your choices if you feel California bound and your parents are too worried about you being a 5-hour plane flight away. Take the time to have these conversations so you and your parents are not disappointed. If you are not as invested as your parents or vice versa, it might be a struggle for everyone. And college is supposed to be exciting. Here are some websites that are focused on further college exploration and college fit. Let me add some final thoughts. And again, these are my own, so take them with a grain of salt. There is no one right school for you. That's a myth. There are many right schools out there for you. Some of them you may have never even heard of. Many of them you won't even consider. But remember, a driven and successful student will make opportunities at any college or university they attend. It's easy to get caught up in the hype of applications only to have your hopes seemingly dashed when those acceptance letters do not come. It's not a reflection on you. It's a college or university making a decision based on all of the data that they have. Understanding the math behind some of the decision making can help as well. If you are smart about the variety of schools you choose, and you have planned out your high school career with some care and forward thinking into the future, you will land somewhere you will be happy and prosper on that campus. I hope you have found this presentation helpful as you dip your toes into exploring college fit. Again, please refer to any of these resources below, or a simple internet search should be able to guide you a little bit, but I wanted to provide some basis, as many parents say that they are just unsure of where to start, and I do get a lot of questions from students as well. Thank you for your time, and good luck in your search.